You won't believe what just came out of China. An announcement so bold, so revolutionary, that it has Tesla and Toyota scrambling behind closed doors. No one expected this. And if you think the EV race is predictable, think again, this could change everything. It all started earlier this week in Shanghai, where iChina, a relatively new player in the automotive sector, revealed its next-generation EV platform. At first glance, it looked like any other tech showcase. Sleek prototypes, glossy presentations, and confident executives on stage. But as the details emerged, industry insiders realized this was no ordinary launch. Unlike Tesla's incremental upgrades, iChina's system isn't just an EV. It's a hybrid platform that seamlessly integrates high-capacity solid-state batteries, next-level AI driving systems, and an ultra-efficient electric motor that is rumored to outperform anything currently on the market. Think power, torque, and range metrics that most manufacturers wouldn't dare predict for another 5 to 7 years. Sources suggest the new motor delivers over 1,200 Newton-meters of torque with a dual-motor system capable of instantaneous torque vectoring. Their battery packs reportedly achieve 30% more energy density than Tesla's latest 4,680 cells, meaning EVs built on this platform could reach 800 plus km on a single charge. But here's the kicker. These packs are fully modular, allowing quick swaps at stations, something even Tesla hasn't perfected yet. And iChina isn't stopping at just energy storage. Their AI-driven energy management system promises adaptive regenerative braking, thermal optimization, and predictive routing that adjusts in real time based on driving conditions, traffic patterns, and even weather forecasts. Imagine your EV automatically conserving energy on a rainy day or rerouting itself to the fastest charging station without you lifting a finger. Competitor reactions were immediate. Tesla insiders reportedly called the announcement aggressive, while Toyota executives convened an emergency strategy session to evaluate whether their hybrid and hydrogen tech could compete. Analysts are calling this a potential Tesla shake-up moment, comparing it to when the first Model S shocked the industry in 2012. But there's more. Rumors have surfaced that iChina plans to integrate wireless charging roads into select city grids, meaning cars could charge on the move, eliminating range anxiety almost entirely. This isn't just incremental improvement. This is a potential paradigm shift for how the entire EV ecosystem operates. And while the technical specs alone are enough to grab headlines, it's the market implications that are truly shocking. If iChina can scale this technology, traditional EV leaders may see a sudden drop in market share, forcing a rapid rethink of pricing, production, and innovation timelines. Imagine Tesla and Toyota racing to implement features they never expected their competitors to unveil for years. The reaction online was explosive. Social media erupted with debates. Some call iChina the Tesla killer, while others argue it's overhyped. But here's the part that no one is talking about yet. This technology may not just compete. It could redefine the standards for efficiency, power, and convenience in the EV industry entirely. And just when everyone thought they had a clear picture of the EV battlefield, iChina dropped a bombshell. A teaser hinting at an upcoming vehicle capable of 1,000 kilometers on a single charge and acceleration, rivaling the fastest hypercars on the planet. No prototypes, no public testing. Just a statement that left the world guessing and competitors scrambling. If you thought the EV race was already competitive, you haven't seen anything yet. Because what iChina is planning could force every major player, from Tesla to Toyota, to rethink everything, from battery tech to production strategy. The question is, can anyone keep up with a company that seems to be rewriting the rules of the game before most of the world even knew they existed? And here's where it gets even more intense. The moment iChina hinted at a vehicle capable of 1,000 kilometers on a single charge, the automotive world went silent. Engineers, analysts, and CEOs alike scrambled to understand how this was even possible. Because let's be clear, achieving that kind of range without dramatically increasing battery size or sacrificing performance has been considered almost impossible. Until now. Sources close to iChina reveal that the secret lies in a new hybrid motor design that combines the best of electric and internal combustion efficiency. But this isn't a hybrid like the ones Toyota has been perfecting for decades. No, this is an entirely new architecture where the motor's torque is intelligently distributed across multiple drive axes, optimizing every bit of energy in real time. The result? Instantaneous power delivery without the typical energy drain and astonishingly low efficiency losses. Their battery tech is equally revolutionary. Using solid-state chemistry, the cells can withstand higher voltages and operate safely at much higher temperatures. This translates into faster charging, longer life, and an unprecedented energy density. Imagine topping up an 800 kilometers range battery in less than 20 minutes. Something even Tesla's superchargers can't currently promise. And the modularity of these packs means you could swap one in minutes, turning what used to be a 2-hour charging stop into something nearly instantaneous. But it doesn't stop at motors and batteries. iChina is also reportedly developing AI-driven suspension and drivetrain integration, where the car actively senses road conditions, driver behavior, and even local weather patterns to adjust torque and energy distribution in real time. This isn't just performance optimization, it's predictive efficiency. The car essentially learns and adapts on the go, improving range and responsiveness with every mile. Analysts are now comparing this to the moment Tesla introduced autopilot in 2015. Just like that announcement redefined expectations for semi-autonomous driving, iChina's tech could redefine what the industry considers state-of-the-art for EVs. The question buzzing in boardrooms worldwide is simple. If this tech is real, how do you compete? How do you maintain relevance when a newcomer suddenly leaps years ahead in efficiency, AI integration, and modular design? Tesla insiders are reportedly analyzing every public detail, trying to reverse engineer what they can, while Toyota executives are debating whether they need to accelerate hydrogen-electric hybrid development or risk falling behind. The stakes are immense, because in this market, falling behind even a single year can cost billions in lost revenue and market share. And yet, iChina seems unbothered by competitors. Public statements from their CEO hint at a long-term vision. Not just selling cars, but reshaping urban infrastructure. Wireless charging lanes, modular battery swap stations, and AI-integrated traffic systems are all reportedly in the works. The idea is audacious: cars that aren't just vehicles, but nodes in an intelligent, energy-optimized network. It's a vision that could make current EV tech look almost primitive by comparison. Online, reactions are a mix of awe and skepticism. Car enthusiasts are debating torque numbers, acceleration estimates, and potential real-world performance. Tech reviewers are analyzing leaked schematics, wondering if solid-state modular packs could truly be produced at scale. And investors? They're watching closely, calculating the potential market disruption if iChina's tech proves viable. But there's another layer to this story, something the press has barely touched on. Whispers from insiders suggest that iChina isn't stopping at passenger vehicles. Rumors indicate plans for commercial EVs, hyper-efficient delivery vans, and even heavy-duty trucks powered by the same revolutionary motors and batteries. If true, this isn't just a consumer tech breakthrough. It could reshape logistics, freight, and entire industrial supply chains. And here's the cliffhanger that has everyone on edge. iChina has scheduled a secret reveal next month, teasing what they call the world's first hyper-efficient flagship EV. No specs, no full images, only a cryptic video showing energy flowing through glowing battery packs. Industry leaders are already marking their calendars. Tesla, Toyota, and every other EV manufacturer now face a looming question. Can they respond fast enough before this newcomer sets a new standard that leaves everyone else behind? The EV race is no longer about incremental upgrades. It's about survival, innovation, and the audacity to leap decades ahead in technology. And the next revelation from iChina could shock the entire industry in ways no one is truly ready for. And just when the industry thought it had fully absorbed the shock, the real numbers started to surface. Quietly at first, buried in technical briefings and insider leaks, but once they reached analysts and engineers, the reaction was immediate. This wasn't just innovation. This was domination-level engineering. Because what iChina is reportedly building goes far beyond a standard electric drivetrain. At the core of this system is what insiders are calling a hypermotor architecture. Not just powerful, but adaptive. Unlike traditional dual or tri-motor setups used by companies like Tesla, this system dynamically redistributes torque not just between wheels, but within microsegments of each motor itself. That means instead of simply sending power to the front or rear, the system can fine-tune output at a level never seen before. The result? Near-perfect traction, maximum efficiency, and acceleration that feels almost unreal. Early estimates suggest 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in under 2 seconds for the flagship model, territory once reserved only for million-dollar hypercars. But here's where it gets even more shocking. This power doesn't come at the cost of efficiency. In fact, it's the opposite. The hypermotor system is paired with an advanced inverter design that minimizes energy loss during power conversion. Combined with solid-state batteries and AI-driven optimization, the entire drivetrain operates at an efficiency level rumored to exceed 95%. For context, most modern EVs operate in the 85 to 90% range. That gap might sound small, but in engineering terms, it's massive. And this is exactly where competitors start to feel the pressure. Because while Tesla has led the EV revolution with its vertically integrated systems and high-performance motors, even their latest platforms are built around architectures that now suddenly feel limited. Incremental upgrades can't compete with a complete redesign of how power is generated, distributed, and preserved. Toyota, on the other hand, has spent years betting on hybrids and hydrogen. And while that strategy once seemed like a safe hedge, iChina's breakthrough could force a painful reality check. If solid-state batteries and ultra-efficient motors become scalable faster than expected, the entire hybrid advantage could disappear almost overnight. And then there's manufacturing. iChina isn't just introducing new technology, they're rethinking how EVs are built. Reports suggest their factories rely heavily on next-generation automation, with AI-controlled assembly lines capable of adapting in real time. This reduces production costs, increases precision, and allows rapid scaling, something even the most advanced gigafactories are still struggling to perfect. Imagine a factory that doesn't just build cars, but learns how to build them better with every unit produced. That's the level of disruption we're talking about. Industry analysts are already predicting what could happen next. If iChina successfully scales this technology, we could see EV prices drop while performance skyrockets. That combination is dangerous, because it doesn't just attract enthusiasts, it captures the mass market. And once that happens, legacy automakers could find themselves in a position they've never faced before, being technologically outclassed and underpriced at the same time. Online discussions are reaching a fever pitch. Some are calling this the Tesla Model S moment of the decade. Others are going even further, suggesting this could be the beginning of a complete industry reset. But the most interesting reactions are coming from engineers themselves, many of whom admit quietly that if even half of these claims are true, the gap between iChina and its competitors could take years to close. And yet, there's still something we don't fully understand. Because hidden within all these leaks and announcements is a bigger question. How did iChina move this fast? Developing solid-state batteries alone is something companies have struggled with for years. Integrating them with a completely new motor architecture, AI systems, and scalable manufacturing should have taken a decade. And yet, somehow, they're already here. Which raises a chilling possibility. What if this is just the beginning? What if the tech we're seeing now is only the first phase of a much larger plan, one that doesn't just aim to compete with Tesla or Toyota, but to completely redefine what the future of transportation looks like? Because according to insiders, the upcoming secret reveal won't just showcase a car. It will introduce something the industry has never seen before, something that could blur the line between vehicle, energy system, and intelligent machine. And if that's true, then everything we think we know about EVs might be about to change forever. But the next chapter reveals something even more unexpected, not just about the technology, but about the strategy behind it and why Tesla and Toyota might already be running out of time. And this is where the story takes a turn no one saw coming. Because this isn't just about technology anymore, it's about strategy. A strategy so aggressive, so calculated, that it could corner the entire EV market before competitors even realize what's happening. Because while everyone is focused on motors, batteries, and AI, iChina has been quietly building something far more dangerous, a complete ecosystem. Not just cars, but charging networks, battery supply chains, software infrastructure, and even government-backed expansion plans. Think about it for a second. Tesla didn't just win because of its cars. It won because of its ecosystem, superchargers, software updates, vertical integration. Now imagine a company launching with all of that already in motion, but faster, cheaper, and more scalable. That's exactly what iChina appears to be doing. Reports suggest that iChina has already secured access to critical raw materials needed for solid-state batteries, lithium, nickel, and rare earth elements, through long-term agreements. This alone gives them a massive advantage. Because while other manufacturers are struggling with supply constraints and rising costs, iChina could maintain stable production at a time when demand for EVs is exploding globally. And then there's pricing. This might be the most shocking part of all. Early projections indicate that iChina's vehicles could enter the market at prices significantly lower than comparable Tesla models, while offering better range, faster charging, and more advanced features. Let that sink in for a moment. A cheaper EV with better performance and next-generation technology. If that happens, it creates a nightmare scenario for competitors. Because now it's not just about innovation, it's about survival margins. Companies like Tesla may be forced to lower prices, cutting into profits. Toyota may need to accelerate EV development, risking massive investment shifts. Smaller automakers? They could be pushed out entirely. And this is exactly why analysts are calling this a potential market shock event. But iChina isn't stopping at pricing or production. Their strategy also includes rapid global expansion. Insiders claim that partnerships are already being formed across Europe, Southeast Asia, and even parts of the Middle East. The goal is clear: establish a global presence before competitors can react. And here's the most unsettling part: governments are paying attention. Because a company that can deliver high-performance EVs at lower costs isn't just a business advantage. It's a geopolitical one. Countries looking to accelerate green energy adoption may prioritize partnerships with whoever can deliver the fastest, cheapest solutions. That means iChina isn't just competing with Tesla or Toyota. It could become a central player in the global transition to electric mobility. Meanwhile, inside Tesla, pressure is building. Investors are watching closely. Any sign that a competitor is gaining a technological edge can trigger massive market reactions. And while Tesla still leads in many areas, the gap suddenly doesn't feel as secure as it once did. Toyota faces an even tougher challenge. Their cautious approach to EVs, focusing on hybrids and hydrogen, now looks increasingly risky. If iChina's solid-state batteries prove viable at scale, the entire foundation of Toyota's long-term strategy could be shaken. And yet, despite all this chaos, there's one question that keeps coming up again and again. Is this too good to be true? Because history has shown us that revolutionary tech announcements don't always translate into real-world success. Scaling production, maintaining quality, and meeting global demand are challenges that have crushed even the most promising innovations. So the real battle isn't just about who has the best technology. It's about who can actually deliver it at scale. And this is where everything comes down to the next reveal. Because iChina has promised something that could either confirm every bold claim or expose the limits of their ambition. A flagship EV that doesn't just match expectations, but exceeds them in ways the industry has never seen before. If they succeed, it could trigger a chain reaction, forcing Tesla, Toyota, and every major automaker into a race they may not be prepared for. But if they fail, the entire narrative changes. And that's exactly why the world is watching so closely. Because what happens next won't just determine the future of one company. It could decide the direction of the entire EV industry for the next decade. And in the final chapter, everything comes together: the reveal, the reactions, and the one shocking truth that no one is ready for. And now, the moment everything has been building toward. The reveal that could either validate every bold claim or bring the entire narrative crashing down. The lights dim. The stage goes silent. And then, without warning, a single vehicle emerges from the shadows. No dramatic music, no over-the-top theatrics, just a quiet, almost confident entrance. As if iChina already knows what the world is about to realize. At first glance, it looks futuristic, but not unrealistic. Sleek, aerodynamic, designed with purpose. But the real shock isn't the design. It's what happens when the specs are finally revealed. Over 1,000 kilometers of range. 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in under 2 seconds. Charging from 10% to 80% in under 15 minutes. And perhaps the most unbelievable part, a starting price that undercuts premium EV competitors. For a moment, there's silence. Then the reaction hits. Analysts scramble. Social media explodes. And inside boardrooms across the world, emergency meetings begin almost instantly. Because this isn't just a car. This is proof. Proof that the technology is real. Proof that the strategy is working. And proof that the EV industry is about to enter a completely new phase. Tesla supporters are divided. Some argue that real-world testing will tell a different story. Others admit, quietly, that this might be the first time in years Tesla isn't clearly ahead. Toyota's position becomes even more uncertain. Years of hybrid dominance suddenly feel less relevant in a world where EVs can go farther, charge faster, and cost less. The question isn't whether Toyota can adapt. It's whether they can adapt fast enough. And then there's the market reaction. Investors begin shifting attention. New discussions emerge about supply chains, battery sourcing, and production scalability. Because now, it's not about who started the EV revolution, it's about who's going to control its future. But here's where things get even more interesting. China doesn't stop at the car. They reveal their roadmap. A full ecosystem rollout, battery swap stations, AI-integrated traffic systems, and expansion into commercial vehicles. Delivery fleets, logistics trucks, even autonomous transport networks. This isn't just a product launch. It's a declaration. A declaration that the next phase of mobility won't be led by incremental improvements, but by complete reinvention. And suddenly, the question changes. It's no longer, is this technology real? It's who can keep up? Because catching up to innovation is one thing. Catching up to an entire ecosystem is something else entirely. Now imagine this scenario. What would happen if these vehicles hit global markets within the next 2 years? What would happen if prices continue to drop while performance continues to rise? What would happen if charging infrastructure evolves faster than anyone predicted? Would Tesla accelerate its next-gen platforms? Would Toyota abandon parts of its long-term strategy? Or would we see entirely new players rise, and old giants struggle to survive? This is no longer just a competition. It's a turning point, and history has shown us that moments like this don't come often. But when they do, they redefine everything. The companies that adapt become leaders. The ones that hesitate fall behind. So now the question is yours. If this technology becomes the new standard, would you trust it? Would you switch from Tesla or Toyota to something completely new? Or do you think this is just another overhyped breakthrough that won't survive real-world testing? Because one thing is certain, the EV war just entered its most dangerous phase. And what happens next will decide the future of the entire automotive industry. If you found this breakdown eye-opening, make sure to stay tuned, because the next wave of innovation might be even more shocking than this one.